TNT. Oh, what is good? Members, subscribers, lurkers. What is good? What is good? Tonight's episode, the very blurry circumstantial case. Idaho4. How anybody can say this is not circumstantial. We're going to talk about it. There you go. Hey, what is up, guys? Patty, good to see ya. Johnny. I'm going to rely a lot from you guys because you guys are the jury. So I hope you have some people with some opinions up in here tonight. Sorry for the delay. So what is up? Happy Sunday, everybody. Yes, straight fire. You know I'm here for the laughs. Oh, God. Put the pressure on. Always here for it. Good. Yes, tomorrow everything should be set up. And I'll be back to actually having my my video camera working. I miss you guys seeing me like a normal human. So yeah, what is good? Hit the thumbs up at some point. You're going to have an opinion, or hit the thumbs down. Let's jump into it. Anybody that says that this case is not circumstantial, we're going to talk about it. Here we go. Boom. TNT viewers, the number one circumstantial piece of evidence, no doubt, going in with the sheath, and that is the trace DNA. Says to come back to Bryan, and the defense is going to try to attack that sample where it came from. But at the end of the day, it is trace DNA. So that is what I have as number one for circumstantial. Number two, you're going to have to go with the be on the lookout, the bolo, the car bolo that they put out. They were off with the year. We've seen the picture. There is no way you can make out that what that vehicle is. Also, it's all circumstantial as far as I'm concerned right now, that when they're going to go ahead and label the time of the crime between 4 and 4:25, you are not going to see a medical person getting on that stand and saying that they're going to be placed in the time of death between 4 and 4:25. Just not happening. So the next circumstantial piece of this case is going to be on the phone data. The phone data that has been alleged through the probable cause affidavit, which is that the phone data of Bryan Kohberger matches this loop-de-loop movement. His phone's off, it turns on. And then they were able to match it up with WSU surveillance cameras. But ultimately, this phone data, you're going to have the defense. It's going to be, they hate to say the battle of the experts. I'm talking about the data here. And again, circumstantial. But if it's shown that Bryan Kohberger is somewhere else in a different state, 30 to 40 minutes away, problem. Again, what is up, everybody? Oh, God, I made it live. Yes, you did. Welcome in. So the fourth piece of circumstantial, they're going to talk about, like they did in the probable cause, like it mattered, that Bryan Kohberger was on a Moscow tower 12 times. Okay. Wow. Doesn't do much for me, especially seeing that if you're going to be, shopping for food or clothing or whatever. So what is up, AR Hayes? Good to see you in here. Nothing but love and respect back to you, buddy. Lana, please bring old intro. Oh, yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. Well, Truly's for the win. Is that the one? It's the only intro that's worth a damn. Oh, the 30-second countdown, is that what you're talking about? That's nothing that I do. Number 5 is if you're going to use footage from Linda Lane and 1112 footage, again, you cannot make out a vehicle. They can just go with the fact that, hey, we have this car coming through here. Hey, we have at this time we have this. There, you cannot see Dick from Linda Lane, whether it be the 1320 or the 1330 camera views. So again, this is TNT viewers. This is the top circumstance. I mean, this case is circumstantial. I don't care what anybody says. It is almost entirely circumstantial. After you get through the Linda Lane footage, the next thing I put down is clicks on Amazon. If this makes it, again, circumstantial. That is if it gets in. That is even, I have no idea what the clicks can show, but let's say that they show that Bryan was clicking on knives. Okay, go ahead. Let's just go ahead and chalk it up. Let's say that that's the case. And let's say that he clicked on the K-bar knife or sheath or the pear. Let's say then the next thing would be if he purchased the knife with the sheath, the same thing in the past. If this is the case, this would move up a little bit more for me. How about number 8, bushy eyebrows? Are you going to give any weight to that? Are you going to give any weight to Dylan, height, a white dude, bushy eyebrows? What am I missing that you believe is, what do they have? What do they have in this case? What else is there, guys? Ready for this? Compared to fingernail clippings underneath those of Maddie Mogan, 3 mixtures, none of which are Bryan Kohberger. He's been excluded 100%. Number 11, well, because this is where I begin, like kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because I think these are huge problems when you want to talk about a circumstantial case. Number 2, blood on the glove that is not Bryan's, and it's an unknown male. I mean, how do you even, nothing to see here. Okay. Number 12, which is number 3, blood on the railing is not Bryan's. If you're a juror, like nothing to see here, blood on the railings. Now, if it's the first floor railing versus the second floor to the third, that matters way more for me here, because the whole, how did the intruder leave? Okay. If it is on that first floor going up to the second floor banister, that is going to be very, very problematic, I believe, for the prosecutors. How are you going to sit here and say that those girls on the bottom floor were like nothing happened to them? They're on the bottom floor. Also, not that anything happened to them, but that would indicate that the blood, I can't wait to see if they're going to talk about if it was transfer. Okay. I want to know what these stains look like. I want to see this. Was it smudge? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about droplings? Are we talking about, does it look like it dropped from somebody coming down and it like dropped on the banister? So it's like splat, that's going to be super, super interesting. But that would indicate that somebody cut themselves and was bleeding, and that they went downstairs and walked out the front door. So the text messages that we've just seen, and you guys, there's a shit ton more coming. Okay. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. But the text messages, for me, I have a huge problem with those. Huge problem with those. If you actually go back and listen to Linda Lane, if they're going to heavily rely on Linda Lane, which the prosecution has said that, you know, they're going to be using Linda Lane, so in the Delphi case, they enhanced audio to say guys down the hill, okay? And then they enhanced audio or video to show bridge guy. So are they going to be allowed to enhance the audio of Linda Lane and show how and what was going on and screamed about and things like that way before 4 o'clock in the morning? Way before 4 o'clock in the morning. So, whew. Again, the text messages and then 911 call. That 911 call, there is nobody saying help. That's a problem for me. So this is what we're looking at. Tell me in chat right now, Lana, can you play Linda Lane for us to hear again? Yes, we can do that. Oh, you know what? I got to play a Circumstantial. Buying coveralls or whatever. I'll put that down as clothing. All right, so what are we missing? Do you think we will ever hear the audio? Yes, we will. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for doing that. I have a new photo I want to show you guys, and you guys are going to love it. So you have to go back to search all this old school shit, and we did just that. And we remember that there's just so much that we grabbed in the beginning. So really quick, I want to show you guys a picture, and I want you guys to be like, oh, wow, that's interesting, or it's not, you know. So here. Pull my emails. Oh, what's up, Miss Boss? Love you, baby girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, if you want to put down WSU criminology. If you want to put that down as circumstantial. I mean, I don't know. That's going to hold no. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Take a look. All right. So I'm going to share a different screen, and let's take a look at. All right. So do you guys recall what does it look like is going on over there? Have you guys seen this? This was back in the day. Pictures that were taken by different peeps in the neighborhood. Okay. So here is a very interesting photograph right there with the scully on. That's motherfucking pain, okay? That's pain. And where this is at, it's going to be right there, which is at the end of the Queen Road Apartments, okay? Where you would be like turning up to then go like around that loop-de-loop. So see where 1330 is? See that angle? And so that's where it's at. Now what the fuck are they doing over there? They're just checking to see if that's blood. Is that what they're doing? Oh shit. You guys, this is right next to, this is not at the house, okay? But this is down by where, you can tell because of the gray here in the house, but it's right up on the side of, see that stone building right there? And if you were to actually be on like, see where this door is, right by where it's at? This is right, see that purple door, blue, whatever you want to call it? They're right there in this gutter area. Why the fuck would you be over there? Isn't that crazy? Spraying for, that's to see if there's blood. They're just watering the plants. You guys, what are they doing over there? That would lead me to believe that they think that somebody could have been on foot, right? And remember when I was going through Linda Lane, also for the record, you could sneak up down through right, if you go down, that's going to take you right to where that cop car was, the hybrid, where it was parked. When was this taken? This was taken a day or two after the murders. This is from the Peeps. This is from, when I say the Peeps, this is from the media. Do you know how much B-roll film the media would have? Like, I'm just kind of shocked that Ann Taylor, I don't know, maybe she does have connections and she did get stuff from people and she didn't have to go. But it's wild. It's wild, but that's pain. That's pain right there, little man. And that's the door with the railing right here. And so they're looking along the outside of this first, and it's right, it's in the path, you guys. It's in the path to, like, if you're like walking. And so what they're spraying and what they were looking for is to see if anybody was walking to track blood from inside the house to then a destination. Okay. And so they were spraying, it's spraying right on the pavement, but it's the walkway right here to walk along where all the doors are. And that's interesting because this is proof, okay, that to sit here and argue and to say that you always thought that the person got in a vehicle, okay, and got in a vehicle. No. This proves right here that you didn't think that you were looking in and around that neighborhood and seeing, and you there's proof then that obviously anybody that's thinking that, oh God, this person took off their shoes or they had some like whack-a-dack shit on their bottoms of no. There was evidence that this person would have tracked out blood Okay. And they went around spraying in the dark. They did not want people to see them doing this, guys. They didn't do this during, at dark, but so they just weren't anybody that's going to sit here and say, or they can't argue and say, oh, we always thought that this person got in a vehicle and they got into that car at 4 o'clock or drove in at 4 and then left at 4:17. This wouldn't be indicative of that. This would be indicative of is that you believe that the perpetrator or perpetrators was on foot. And so there was a first suspect in this case. And I'm very curious to hear who it is, because like the Dr. Moore case, their first suspect in that case was some dude that should have never been actually ruled out, and he was ruled out off of crap. Do I think that he had anything to do with it? No, but off of what they had, they didn't. I could have ruled them out after all the shit, but not what they had. So, but yeah, this is, so here, the house is over here, 1122 King. So it's, here's your house right here. And so when you'd walk through the middle of the two Queen Road apartments, or if you're walking up along where the cars drive around like this, you would go through that first set, and then what we've all seen from Linda Lane, which is this view here, 1330 and 1320s right here, and that's what we've seen when a car's turning and coming around to go like make that loop. It's that apartment building right here. And then it's on kind of like a hill, so alongside of it you would go right into like this. There's like a gray house looking thing, but it's right there. And that's where all the if you're looking at Linda Lane, right? So think about this. If they were watching Linda Lane, they would have been seeing what we've all seen, which is a lot of movement in this area around that time frame. So if they did it all from that, but yeah, that's right there on that path, that walkway. Pretty crazy. Dr. Latina, so appreciative how dissected the recently released text in 911 call for us to see is that abject discrepancies in the narrative you rock. Oh, Dr. Latina, people have said with that, what I did when me and Miss Potts did that, they're like, the reason your time is taking longer than like someone like Dylan and Bethany's is because that they know what they're going to say and you don't know what you're going to say. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have the piece of paper that tells you exactly what I'm going to write and say. The reason that I wasn't able to get to the 2:17, 2 minutes and 17 seconds, me personally, is because when we did it, we did not text until the other person had received it. And then, so it was like, then you could fire off the next. And that's why I believe that they could make it in the 2:17. I still have not been able to accomplish the 2:17, and to get it where they're flowing like the way that they are in sequence. Also, her leaving to go then text Kaylee the 2 times, that takes a little bit of time as well, but it tells me that you're not waiting for any type of a response. You don't care what the person has to say. You're not listening. You're not really digesting what they have to say, and you're just firing shit off. So, which one's Payne? He's the one that's behind the other guy. He's coming up from the rear end. Um, I think for me, the 911 call, it's a gut punch as a parent. You know, nobody, like, I mean, we need to tell our story about 4 a.m. And so if you go and listen to Linda Lane at 4 a.m., what's truly going on? I think 4chan, it's crazy to say this, but 4chan shit looks more plausible every day of the week. It truly is crazy because they also mentioned that, the person was off in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. Really crazy. I have a lot of questions about the 911 call, says Kate. Yeah, what do you got, girl? I'm confused. Where is the house from where they are? Just to the left. You have to just go through. It's literally everything you could see on Linda Lane. Like if you're watching the Linda Lane camera, the Linda Lane camera's here and here. I'm sorry, Linda Lane camera's here and here. And when we're watching from this angle, you can see the cars driving up and coming into like this area to like park here or going around the building and then comes down here, and right here is 1122. Comes right here. So where they're at is literally it's fucking so close. I could yell your name at Queen at 1122 King from there and you'd be able to hear me and I'd be able to hear you. We did it. We tested that shit. So 1122. Linda Lane 1, camera Linda Lane 2, camera down there. Dr. Latina, thank you again so much. Oh, wow. So why would they be there? Well, because they're investigating. So I think that they had reason to believe that somebody close by did this, somebody that they knew, crime of passion. I also think that there'd be evidence of possibly the person when they were leaving, or if it wasn't like that, something's tracking out. So technically the article came out on the 16th. So it could have happened. This picture could have been taken on the 11, 13, 14, or 15. But the picture came from a 16th article. And I'm just like, damn, Antonio needs to use this because they thought this person was on foot. Okay. They don't need to give a motive. It's not one of their elements, so they're just gonna say that he was planning on becoming a serial killer. How do you get Enan Harsh apartment from there? Enan Harsh's apartment. You guys, Enan Harsh has nothing to do with this. Lana, where is Linda Lane fence wall in this photo? Fence wall. Like, when you say the fence wall, here, let me just, I'll go to the 3 o'clock time frame on Linda Lane. Hold on. That got removed. That damn bastard. Okay, let's see if this one has it. you start to see headlights coming towards you, and then they are going to start going and start. All right. You see what I'm saying? So that's, and then right when you pass the cleaner apartments, like right there, that's like your, 112, 2, just to show everybody the very, this was from the 13201 camera from Lynn Lane. It's a lot earlier in the night. Okay. All right, this is the 1320 Linda Lane camera footage. So, do you see? So to the left of this is, if this is like coming down from the way that all the cars come in, I'm trying to show you from Taylor. Or you see a little kitty cat or whatever it is walking. Are you sure that's not Murphy out running around? You guys see that? See that little animal? See that little thing? Let's get where the car's coming. Fucking camera blows, got nothing on it. Those things that are flying across, those are bugs. See, like up across the way, you can see like the lights. That's a vehicle, but that's like way up on the hill on the other side by like where Greek Row is. I mean, yeah. And so this is like at, well, that's why, hold on. This is at 2:30. I wanted the 2:10 time frame. When Dylan's okay, so this is at 2:10. Dylan texts and asks Eric G if he's driving. Look at that car speed like that. 2:10. See that? So this is at 2:09 and 26 seconds. I think Linda Lane can be totally taken differently now, knowing some of the stuff that we do now. Let me remove this. Okay, 209, 56 seconds. So here, we're getting to the point that Dylan's going to feel the need to, there it is. It's a loud car. Dylan's going to feel the need to text and ask Eric right around this point, hey, are you driving? Have you seen the Lemline video taken down by the dumpster below the apartments? This is down by the dumpster. They're saying at 4:57 a.m. Atlanta, it was 2:50 a.m. She was texting Eric G. No, incorrect. 2:10. Not Dylan was texting at 2:10 and asking, girl, come on, you ain't gonna mess with me in my times, girl. You out of your mind, girl. 2:10. We can take a look at 4. This is 4:45. I'll back it up just a tad. 4:44 and 27 seconds. a.m. Yeah, Kaylee was calling Jack D from 2:26 a.m. until 2:52 a.m. You have some movement over here. Here we go. Okay, that car went up over on this side of campus. Let's take a look at 3 or at 2. Okay, this is when they're saying the murders are happening. For okay, 4:07, 17 seconds. I heard a beep. Part from 3:30 a.m. to 4:05 a.m. are missing. What? Wait, what the fuck? Holy shit, it is. Right down there, look at 3:29, 46 seconds. Look at, that's what they're saying is the white Elantra is coming up. I'm about to make its loop-de-loop. And then look at 3:29, 57, 59, 3:30, 3:01, 3:02. And it just skips. Oh, they cut out. Wait, did you guys hear the difference too? They took the audio out. Listen to this. Okay, so 3:22. you can hear stuff. Okay, now check this out. At 3:25, and I heard something there. They cut off the audio. Right there. See, I can hear a car. You can hear. Right there. 3:29 and 49 seconds. See, now you can't hear anything. They took out the audio. At 3:30, exactly on the dot, they cut the audio. Listen to this. They cut the audio. They cut the audio a couple seconds before they end up cutting the footage. See how you can't hear like the zzz. What the fuck? You hear that? Look at that. That's crazy. Because then you can hear the light. 4:20 up there, there's a car. See right there? Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, holy shit. You see that car moving? Okay. At 4:17, look at there's a car at 4:19 moving. That's over back that way. That's past. That's up over by like the sororities and fraternity. But then watch this car coming across. See right there, light flickers. Wait, 4:19. 4:19 right there. That's the same time frame that they're having, like the killer is supposedly leaving. Now wait for it up over here to the left. Right here, look at the left. It's driving back around here. See? And it goes right there and parks right there at the fraternity. Shut the fuck up. See that bright light? See how it is? See? Holy shit. And then it shut off its lights because it like turned off. Holy shit, you guys, it's at 4:20 and 46 seconds. That's the same time they have that motherfucker leaving. That's right where Sigma Chi is over there. Well, it's actually, no, it's not. It's Sigma Chi is a little to the left. That's going to be up over where, like, oh my God, the sorority. Holy shit balls. Oh my God, you guys, this is insane. At 4:19, we literally see, this is when they're trying to say that, okay, at 4:20, they see the car leaving. Let's see if we can time this up. Where's the fucking car? If this would time up perfectly, I'll shit a brick. See, there's nothing but activity up over there at that, wherever this is at, whatever sorority or fraternity that is, up over in that area. Now, a car's going to come down and around. So look at a car makes a loop again. It's going to come down around. It's right over there by that fraternity, sorority, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's another light over there up there. But now watch. The car's going to come right here. Boom. See? Now watch what happens here. So it's 4:19 and 28 seconds. Let's see what time it is. So come over here, look all the way up over here to the left. Right there. 4:20 and 7 seconds. Ready? There it is. There it goes. See? See? It's back there. Drives. Then it goes right there. And pulls into, again, the same, see? Right here. It pulls in so that we see the light, then it kind of backs out, so then the light dims a little bit, and now it straightens out, and then watch the light will turn off. It's bright. Now it's going to go away. They went back to a fraternity or sorority house. That car can't get there from there? Where was that car coming from then, Mark? Because of the same exact time that they're claiming that there's somebody that it's like there's something that it's like a loop. From Taylor it can't, but can it cut across oh, did you hear that rev? Okay, see here again, where's this car? 4:21 and 41 seconds. I'll back that up. See that light back there? It was about to come down Taylor, and then it turns right to go up towards the frats. And look right here, it's driving. There's nothing but fucking cars around here, man, at night. Can you go, yeah, you're right. I just looked at it again. Hold on, let me see something here. Hold on, let's go back to, I want to see something really quick off of. Let's share this video. Okay, Linda Wayne put 2. I just want to go right around. Do you hear that stuff right here? I mean, I'll just say this stuff to be enhanced. Like, let's just put it this way, guys. During this timestamp of, if you go and we take that off and you go to 4:17. I mean, you hear nothing. Four 23 and 44 seconds. So think about this. See how the person opens up the door? That's right where Payne and that dude were spraying. See that guy opens up the door? That's right where homie and him were spraying. Opens up the car door, gets in. And sprays. Like that's the apartment that happens at, that they're spraying. You see that? So the picture that I showed you earlier, that's where the guy was coming out of that door. So that tells me, and should tell all of you guys, that at least by 11/16 and 2022, the day that it would have come out, so they were spraying over there. It's very obvious. Like, look at this. Backs out. Let's see. 4, 4:07 and 39 seconds. There's your suspect vehicle. Let's hear it again as the Elantra comes up. Allegedly, the Elantra. See, that beep bothers me. Like that honk noise, that beep, that is the same noise, just so we're clear. That's what the vehicle did with the you guys know what that what that is, like when you unlock a vehicle or um, unlock it or lock it. That beep, that's before the Elantra is coming up with it, like as that's happening. 4:10, 16 seconds. Now let's go to 4:21, 4:19. This is when the phone calls were starting to happen. At 4:19, this is when Dylan starts to call people. Back up this time. Okay, yeah, 4:18, 4:19 now. 'Do you understand that Dylan basically calls right after the person would have like walked out of the house according to her? Because if you time it up with the picture that is taken from 1112, like she's calling at the same time as the person's leaving based on the 1112 camera. So I think that that's just beyond fucking interesting. That, and this is that time frame. 4:19 to 4:21, she's calling. She calls the roommates. 4:20 and 22 seconds right here. Let's see. Okay, so now she begins to text with Bethany. Woo. Wait a second, right there. Right there. Flashing of lights from, so somebody hits the button first. So he hits the button already when he's inside. Okay, I just want to make sure. And this is the guy that then walks out of his apartment. What a moron. So, but what does Payne believe that he... Interesting. Okay. Stupid. Okay. Next, I want to look at a timestamp of what time did you want there, Sarah? To 2:21:35. 2:21. Okay, there you go. $2.21. There's 2:21, 16, 17. And 22. Yep. There you go. That's your, see, 2:21 and 56 seconds. Then you have, I mean, who's screaming? That's far away too, enough that it would be like over there. You know who would be able to tell if that was her kid or not is if Xana, like if the parents all listened. Do you know what that should sound like on the two, on the 1112 like cameras? I just think that's a yell. I mean, it's okay. So if Dylan asks if Eric is still driving, right? Let's be honest. Normally, because you're asking, because you're you're wanting to get a ride. Okay, so I believe Occam's razor would mean that Dylan was asking because she needed to get a ride, either back to the house or leave the house. Okay, so if she asked Eric for a ride, if he was still driving at 2:10, and that was to show that Dylan was awake and texting, right? Are they then saying that Dylan then passed out because she never responded back to Eric and she never took the ride from Eric that she asked for? Okay. This is at 2:20. I'm trying to see if anybody's walking back there. Hmm. Listen, what I was always told is that Maddie and Kaylee saw, when they took Murphy out, they saw a guy outside or a girl, whoever, with a mask on. This was way earlier in the night. And that they had come inside and they had talked about it with the roommates. And even the neighbor knew about it. Then what you're going to have here is within 4 minutes of all that, Jack D starts getting, blown up at 2:26, or yeah, 2:26 to 2:52. And then Kaylee never texts again, never calls again. Maddie never texts, never calls again at 2:52. And they're claiming it's because they're sleeping. I've always said I don't buy that. That would be indicative of them never being alive after that point, 2:52. Did you hear that shit? 2:42. Let's see. 2:42. 2:42. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. $241. $242. You hear that shit, man? Yes. Those are bad. Check out the one-line apartment footage from 12:27 and 12:29. Take a look at that. 2 a.m. was a dark hour. Nice to hello. 9 months. Cheers. What time was? We don't know what time it was placed. Okay, guys, that's the type of noise that would like freak me out. All right, that type of noise, right? Not we were playing it through the whole time of 4 to 4:19, and it is as quiet as fucking church mouse. It's just there's there's nothing. There's nothing, and I'm gonna tell you what they did in the Dr. Moore case. They took vehicles and they went by and they framed people, and so the killing obviously was beforehand, and they staged it all afterwards. That's exactly what they did in the Dr. Moore, Dr. Drake case, and these idiots can't investigate shit. What's crazy for me is that if you go and you look at the video that we got the body cam for the band uh, field camera, and those cops are literally just parked in the parking lot that's right where basically the King Road house is. It's just directly in front of that, like right behind the houses that are in front of the King Road house. That's where this, you know, hybrid vehicle is. And you know damn well they're fucking watching that house. They're watching all those houses back there with their lights off. Okay? It's like they're right there. And then they pull out when those kids, they're walking, like that's when they pull out from that parking lot. Like they didn't just get there. And so I have to go and check the cameras to see when I believe them coming on Taylor to go park in that area. But they were right there watching all of this shit. It also means that they were right there. Is this video submitted in evidence? Yeah, this video is in evidence. And I think it's hilarious that it would leak. Why did it leak? How did it leak? Kay Miller turning everybody fucking green. You know, how does this piece of evidence leak out? You know, 240, 244 and 20 seconds. I think there's another scream out like at, I want to say, is at 246. I have to print off I have a Excel spreadsheet that has every piece of noise and 301 is the Banfield camp. Okay, here. So 248. I think it's right here. So 252. Okay, and now I have to speak on this because I disagree with Steve when he says, listen, no, Kaylee and Maddie would have called 911. They would have called Jack D for help. Okay, they would have called 911. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. You wouldn't call 911 if you felt that it was police, right? You wouldn't call 911 if you thought it was a firefighter, right? But also, you saw these kids, and Dylan and Bethany didn't call 911, right? They didn't call 911 that night. They didn't call 911 in the morning. They didn't even go in, like, just, okay. If you would have thought that it was a dream and a bad dream, you would have just woke up like any other fucking day and been like, oh, God, I got to stop having these horrible dreams. Wake up, get out of your bed, and then look at your phone and be like, oh my God, I was texting. Oh my God, I was sending all these texts. Okay, and then go to Xander's room. Go up to Keely and Maddie's room. I mean, these girls knew. So I don't know, to say that they wouldn't have called other people before calling 911, that's all these sorority and fraternity dudes do. They don't call the police. What up, Goose? Sleuthy, what's good? Lana, start at 319. See if you can hear someone running up and then saying, and then hide. It just frustrates me that nobody is like, anybody that thinks this is just normal. It's just not. It's just so fucking not, man. Yeah, there was nobody for a fresh sucks in my ass. This chat should be put in slow-mo. You can slow it down a little bit, sure. Let's see. Here, let's see this one. If I do a different time. What time do we want to do? 3? Lynn Lane pumpkin filter over a difference. Whoa. Okay, we said 2 to 3 or 3. Wait, what time we went? 3 to. So we went 3 a.m. We'll see if T-Rav's amped up one. Where the fuck is T-Rav? Let's see. What time stamp do we want? At the 3 o'clock time? There is no 3. It's been cut. Oh, yeah, it starts. And this is a minute. That's very similar to the Dr. Moore case. I have the original somewhere. Yeah, I have the original somewhere. I have to go back through my stuff. I'm in the process of transferring all my stuff over though. So yeah, 57.7. You guys, come on now. Ann Taylor can call Xana's family to stand. Let's talk about this circumstantial. Okay, ready? Why did the House need to have new? Going back to circumstantial here, the House. You don't think Ann Taylor's going to use the fact that their lock was just changed? Now I know why the lock was changed, you guys. Very obvious to me. They're playing all these stupid games with the fraternities and sororities. We did them, but nowhere near to this extent. We were never dressing up as like fucking kill, like crazy shit like that. But so this is circumstantial. They have a sheath that has trace DNA that belongs to Bryan on it. The car, circumstantial, wrong year. And then we saw the pictures. Good luck. You can't tell anything about that car. The phone data, there's problems there. The time of the crime, problems there. 12 times Bryan was on the tower in Moscow. That's normal for the 2 campuses. Linda Lane footage, 1112 footage. What can you make out of it? The clicks on Amazon. He's a WSU criminology student. If he did in fact purchase that knife with the sheath in the past, bushy eyebrows, the clothing receipt, buying coveralls, Dickies, that type of thing. He's white, his height. But these are huge problems now. So what else are we labeling under circumstantial? Because this whole case is circumstantial. So what else? And I'm going to go ahead and put down that's negative for the prosecution is changing of the locks. Why would you be changing the locks? That 57 seconds is the only missing time frame from the entire video. That's pretty interesting, though. And that's right after, not too long after me. At 3, that's right before that's the hybrid dudes. That has everything to do with the police. That time, that 1 minute that's missing. That's the minute right before that well, I shouldn't say that. They go after those kids at like 2:52 2 or 256 or something like that. Attacking the timeline is powerful. The defense has to convince the jury. Well, there's pros and cons to that, though. If Bryan Kohberger can be proven to be somewhere else at, let's say, between 4 and 425, but he can't be proven to be anywhere between 2 and 247, all right. The Circumstantial is the WSU car, and then it's the 1122 King Road car, which it has to do with the car at the end of the day. But how you're connecting that, it could be that. It's and there's no videos in between. But you're just going to be like, oh, the 700 block, that's Bryan. It's truly like if you think about it, there's no DNA in the car, none at apartment, none in the office, none at his parents. Doesn't know them, isn't following them. So talk about the circumstantial case. Oh, Lana, what? We having sex? Oh, Lana. The 1122 or the 111 King Road car isn't even the one the FBI used it. I know, right? Ridge Road, baby. Ridge Road. Lana, any thoughts on Dylan text to Eric? Ooh, I have so many thoughts about that. First thought is, Occam's razor tells me is that if you're asking somebody if they're driving, it's because you want to ride. So she either wanted to ride home or she wanted to ride to leave, right? Or the last and only other feasible option, in my opinion, is that if this guy would drive for the fact to get people food, like, I'll pay you to get food. So those are your three. You're not asking him if he's still driving for just to fucking, hey, are you still driving? Want to come over and fuck me? Throw it up there. Throw 4 up there. The only one to get fucked. Those are your. So, you guys, code. People are going to teach you that you don't need to do code. You would just call somebody and then there would be no reason to you don't put it in text. So for me, what the state is saying though is that they're using it to establish that she was awake and texting. And that tells me that there's, that she's it's right before she's about to pass out. Because that needs to okay, well here, this is her, she's awake and texting. That's the one that they have to use that for. We're using it for a timeline to show that DM is awake and texting. I personally think that that's So, let's see. With child, a mini Dr. What do you think about that answer there? Sleepy. Did I miss it? Did I miss your response? Dylan called Bethany, Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana, and no one answered. Correct. Yep. She says to Bethany, no one answered. Yeah. I think that's wild. I've said it. I said that makes no sense that you would call all those people and then you would text only one of them and say that no one is answering and that one person also didn't answer. So that makes no fucking sense to me. In fact, that would show like, not only that does it make no sense, but that would be a problem. That's a red flag. Why wouldn't you write Kaylee and say no one is answering? Why wouldn't you write Xana and say no one is? I mean, that makes no sense to call 4 people and then pick out one of them who, by the way, will be the one that is not going to be murdered as well as her, to say that, you know, nobody's answering. She didn't answer. Bethany didn't fucking answer. You guys, that stage is fuck. I don't care what anybody says. So that's wild. That is wild. Yeah, guys, we're missing a ton of the texts, but the reason that we're seeing what we're seeing is because, first of all, this is stuff that was used at the grand jury, and it was used for specific reasons. And so I was interested in those specific reasons that it was used. So they're using things to show a timeline of when Dylan's awake or claiming to be awake. And that was the 2:10 a.m. text message to Eric. And another thing that I think is interesting about it is that if she was home and her roommates had just gotten home at 1:56 by taking a ride from Eric, oh, hey, who'd you guys get a ride from? Oh, Eric just dropped us off, you know, and having a conversation with them, and then her to text Eric and be like, hey, are you still driving? And it could also be that she missed out on the DoorDash opportunity. Like, hey, I'm DoorDashing to get food, and, you know, she didn't get in, and now she has got to see if somebody can bring her food because she doesn't want to DoorDash herself because it's super expensive. You know, I don't know. But they're using it. That tells me that there's not that much phone activity on Dylan's phone after that, because you're using it to just say, okay, hey, we know for a fact at this point in time she's awake because she texted. Clearly, if there's a ton more conversation that she's having with like anybody, they would be like using that to show a timeline of, but I think they're using it to show that stuff fell off, and it was like she had texted him, she's awake, and then she kind of like passes out. And so you're basically going to sit here and tell me that at 2:10 a.m., Dylan, after texting Eric, her phone's not doing anything, she passes out, and then she wakes up, and the next time that they want to talk about her texting, which doesn't make any sense because you would have to have a previous conversation before she's just going to call all the roommates except for Ethan and say, then in a text to Bethany, no one's answering. That bitch didn't answer either. Like what? There's just, you guys, these rooms are so close to each other. The thought that I mean, they purposely did not go, they knew that their roommates were dead, and they didn't want to go and witness it. I mean, that's crazy. They knew some, like, bringing over other people. They talk about some selfish ass shit. You guys can go find them. I think that's pretty sad. She called Ethan at 4:24 and 39 seconds. Wondered if she tried texting him at all. Yeah, somebody that was commenting in the comment section, they were like, maybe she didn't call him because she didn't have his phone number. And I'm just like, wait, what? She called him later. She just didn't call him in the first round of it, which is interesting because maybe she didn't think that Ethan was there. Think about that. think about that. She didn't call him the first round of things like she didn't think that Ethan was there. I don't know. I get it being fucked up, and I could never think in a million thousand years that I would ever think that I'm in a home, I'm opening and closing my door 3 times. Somebody just walks past me. Yeah, they may be dressed in all black with a mask, okay? But shit, that's normal in my house because these freaking frat dudes are fucking whack jobs, okay? Who play tricks on us and we play tricks on them, and we're always in masks too, okay? And so, like, we're doing stupid shit, and that's why I think they changed the lock on their door. Like, guys, enough of this. This is fucking crazy. So, but if it's always a prank and it's always a joke, right? Then I would expect Dylan to say something like, Kaylee, answer me, please. You know, she's saying, please answer, please answer. Like, come on, you guys are scaring me. Like, this is a joke. Like, or this is, you know, this, you guys are taking it too far. Please stop. Like, I'm really freaked. I'm really scared. Like, where is any please of that? Like, to say, like, okay, guys, enough fucking around. Like, I'm freaked out. Like, why wouldn't she write that she's freaked out to the other roommates? Why is she only writing to Bethany that she's freaked out? Why wouldn't she be writing that to, like, anyone else to say, you guys are freaking me out? I believe one of the parents got remarried. Yep, exactly, Sufi. Unless the prank was opposite what you think and went wrong. Yeah, and that's, or that something that you knew something was going to happen, but you didn't know, you knew something was going to happen. Like, kind of like how WSU Kim had said it, that it was a shakedown that went wrong. And maybe she shouldn't use the word shakedown. Maybe she should have said something else. But regardless, it was, we knew, you know, when okay, hey, shit's going down tonight, man. Like, I know, oh God, did you hear, Bo? Yeah, shit's going down tonight. So I would have known of something. And then if I would have woke up the next morning and somebody calls me and says, oh my God, you're never going to believe this, so-and-so's dead. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh my God, I knew shit was going down. What do you mean dead? Like, I just think that I would be texting, I know that I would be texting people that were playing like these type of pranks and shit, and I'd be telling them and writing them and saying, you guys need to knock it the fuck off. Like, and who knows, maybe those text messages exist, because that's what I think, like, is missing that should be there. Like, hey, what, like, I think it's going to come out at trial, and through the text messages. Trust me, there's a reason that Kaylee was not living there anymore, or going to be leaving early, because she was planning on staying the whole entire year, living with Maddie for her last, you know, senior year. That's what they wanted to do. Why would you cut that early? You can work the rest of your life. That's the last thing you want to do. And anybody that would be giving you any other advice than that's giving you shitty ass advice. You know, if you go back to what Dave said, hey, we thought that they got a bad batch. And then we thought that it was that they were stabbed or whatever to cover up for the bad batch of drugs. And then it went back to this and it went back to that. There was all the Snapchats were going crazy way earlier. And this 911 call and the text messages prove that. It proves that Dave, like, if you didn't believe him before when I had him on here, the 911 call proves it, and the text messages prove it. Dave, he has no fucking reason to lie. Those kids they had no idea that 911 was even realized that oh wait, 911 wasn't called first. Why wouldn't they keep all the text so we don't think the girls are now a part of this? Because that motion is only for the purposes of they need it to be. It's for what they're trying to do with it. It's they're using it for a timeline, you guys. Okay, they're using those specific text messages for a timeline for the crime. And Ann Taylor is going to heavily argue the fact that they're staged. These are staged text messages. And so in order, it's a hearsay exception rule. It's the utterance exception rule, which is, and this is what I've gone over and over on my channels to say, like, guys, I've texted friends before to say, oh my God, you're never gonna believe what just happened. This fucking dick just rear-ended me and I just got, he just hit me. Okay. That text message at that point, if it says 3:00 in the afternoon, I was actually hit at 2, but by the time I texted my friend to tell her, oh my God, you'll never believe what just happened, I just got hit, I just got rear-ended. Well, I really got rear-ended an hour earlier than that. So the state is saying that this was in real time. There's no room to fabricate anything. It's happening so quickly, and the girls are just reacting to what's happening in the house. And that's why they're trying to admit just these specific ones, because there's a lot more. But these specific ones go to show that. And that's what was used in the grand jury, the secret grand jury. And that's where Ann Taylor was like, these are inadmissible as the way that you're presenting them. And they made like 13 or however many objections to dismiss for X, Y, and Z. And this was part of it. And that's why it's a motion limiting. Like, they're trying to get this judge to see it the same way that Judge saw it. And it's wild. It's absolutely wild that, I'm sorry, but the 911 call says it different. After it would have calmed down and you don't hear any noises anymore, and the person, you think the person walked out or whatever, if you're Dylan, so then you're calling these people, they're not answering immediately, look at the timestamp of these calls. It was right before when they were right, so that they could say whoever would be leaving the house at that time is the person that would be ultimately responsible for this, is that time frame. Versus if something was happening between 2 and 3. And so if you summon somebody over to that house and then they come over and holy shit, you just pretend to be sleeping, okay? And that person's like, oh my God. And they just get the fuck up out of there. I'm just saying that house is a revolving door. It's wild. It's wild. But so that's what the state's saying, is that we're using these to create a timeline of when the crime happened. And then you have Chief Fry saying, would we have liked for them to call 911? Yeah, we're figuring that out. We're trying to figure out why they didn't. Are you fucking kidding me? Why they didn't? How do they know that they couldn't have saved somebody's life? I have no idea if they could have saved someone's life. But if someone's crying and you can still hear them crying, that means they're alive. Yeah, they don't mention shit. They don't mention. They want to tell a story. They want to tell a story to the 911 caller. I've never heard of something like that in my life. We got you guys all the Dateline episodes that you've watched. Okay, we hear all these 911 calls, man. We got people pretending like to be shocked and oh my god, no. But here, wait. Can I tell you what happened? Can I tell you what happened? Can you tell me what happened? Then you are not like fucking don't remember shit. Whoever, can we tell you what happened? Can we tell you what happened? Not like my roommates. They're not just help. Oh my god, something horrible happened. I don't know what's happened. Like no one's talking about blood. No one's talking about shit. That's because that call was so far away from where those rooms were. That call either happened on the first floor of the house or potentially happened at the neighbor's house. Remember the whole thing? The call originated inside. Remember all that? The call originated inside. Fuck you, Fry. I don't fucking believe shit until I hear that. Fuck you. Everybody was sleeping my ass. They're not going to get out of being able to not play that 911 call in the courtroom. That goes to Bryan's defense. Anybody that would be a defendant in a situation, that would go to your defense. I'm telling you, these body cams of those kids lying to the cops. Surprised that those aren't being put in motion limiting to keep them out of the courtroom. The neighbor who called 911, the neighbor didn't call 911. That phone call originated off of Bethany's cell phone number. From Bethany's cell phone. Bethany was on the call at first. And then passed it. That's how we're seeing it. She's the A caller. And the A1 caller is Emily. And then she passes it back to Bethany. And then you hear them say, like, no, I don't want to go up there. Like, I don't want to go. Like, they didn't even. How do you write, please answer? How do you write that in a text message in the morning at 10:30? Then Dylan texts her dad at 10:39. They have a text exchange. Her dad is the big dude that's going to come fuck you up or going to come help you if you get in trouble. Before 911 was called. Why is Dylan texting her dad at 11:39? Yeah, they're looking for a pulse. I mean, they knew. They knew. They knew. They had their gut knew. But that's fucking crazy. Because that should just tell you, if you're never thinking that a serial killer just came into your house and killed your roommates. That's not a gut feeling that you get. This gut feeling that those two girls had, in my opinion, and I don't believe that Bethany was alone in that bedroom that she was in. That's why she had told her to come down there. Don't be alone. Like, Bethany wasn't like, oh, I'm alone down here, so come down here. Bethany wasn't alone down there. Bethany was with somebody down there. She was saying to Dylan, like, if you, come down to my room, like, that, it's better than being alone. The only person that was alone was Dylan. Well, so that would mean that somebody other than Bethany was in that house based on my reading into stuff and based on Chief Fry's statements at one of the pressers. When I told you and I pointed that out, I said, he said individuals were inside the house yeah, other individuals, or, he wouldn't say roommates. No stingray prevented those girls from calling people. So I believe that their gut told them something, but to me, their gut told them something because of what they knew, what they had prior knowledge of. And I just said, what the fuck is the odds that a house that fraternity and sorority girls and guys play pranks about, like, pretending to sneak up and scare and stab and do all this crazy shit. What are the odds that those people then end up truly victims of a brutal stabbing? All four of those roommates at the hands of a complete stranger that traveled across from the globe. I just find that that's wow. What are the odds? What are the odds? Well, it says come down to my room. Come down here kind of sounds, yeah, she doesn't say come down here. She says room. I'm telling you, their social media is prank gone wrong. Yeah. Or that you got some fucking, I don't know what these kids, what type of drugs are taking, but that also sounds like somebody not realize what the fuck they were doing, and that they were so out of their mind, and stabbing somebody. I don't know. Could you be so? I don't know. What would what certain psychedelic drugs, if you mix them with stuff? Oh yeah, the shit being mixed together and strength of it. It's horrible. That's what I was looking into, because I knew somebody that, and it was bad. It was like a bunch of stabbings, and a bunch of kids were on drugs when they were 17 years old, and they didn't even know they were doing. Wait, pretend to stab with real knives? What the fuck? I've never seen so many girls that dress up not as sluts and as bloody shit than I had when I researched this case. I mean, it's all about, dude. They were putting dead animals on people's doorsteps and porches and carcasses and shit like that. It was fucking. I mean, Steve Gonzalez comes out and says, yeah, they were a bunch of, yeah, my daughter's a big prankster. Well, I'm sure they're not pranking people by, killing them. And, what kind of pranks are we running with? Because I think there's a lot of pictures in these kids' phones of the shit that they were doing. And it's going to be, that's why I disagree with Steve. And is the state going to offer Bryan Kohberger the deal to, hey, we'll take off the death penalty, plead the blah, blah, blah. Because I think the state has a lot of hurdles. In the Delphi case, we didn't have unknown male blood at the scene. We didn't have unknown male blood too at the scene. Okay? They didn't have that there. They had these mixtures, and they couldn't really, I mean, even though they were 5 or 6 people mixtures, these jurors somehow fucking, I don't know what they were thinking, but here we physically have stabbing victims of the wounds, and we have blood that's at the scene that's not it's on the railing, it's on a glove outside. I mean, it's not Bryan's. And then to hear Hitler say, oh, well, that just makes me think that Bryan has accomplices. Are you a fucking moron? Yeah. And you would think that he has accomplices, and you guys have all these devices. You guys are doing Amazon clicks and all this crazy technology, and you couldn't fucking cough up his accomplices by now? Get the fuck out of here. That's insanity. Get out. That's crazy. So, I mean, Howard Bloom's theory of this case is my hypothesis. That's kind of wild, he said. But Bryan he brought in 2 different vials of 2 different people's bloods. Excuse me? And he was planting blood evidence? He running a vacuum? I mean, he's a goddamn firefighter. Bryan over here, Mr. fucking wizard. Okay? Get out of here. But people call me like conspiracy theory. I'm over here like, guys, okay, we have a sheath with trace DNA on it, and it belongs to Bryan. They're going to question the sample size. They're going to question where it truly came from. There's some issues with chain of custody. And then this is as circumstantial as it possibly can get. There was nothing that returned fruits from these search warrants, with the exception of maybe, like I said, I'll give you, if this gets allowed, clicks on Amazon, okay, and purchasing, then, I mean, again, but it's all circumstantial. But to think that, I don't know, I would want to know dates, other stuff that was bought, same thing. But can I go around convicting people because of what they clicked on Amazon? Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Come on. And then we're talking about the car. Well, a car doesn't kill anybody. Okay? And if you actually look at Linda Lane, depending on how the defense is going to present this, I mean, shit. That car only matters if you're truly going to be able to prove that the killings happened at this time, and that's how we believe the killer, arrived and left, and and Xana was dressed in all black. I mean, what is that about? Xana's dressed in all black. Dylan says that she saw somebody with a mask on, and she's freaked out, but she doesn't do anything about it. After he would have left, she still doesn't do anything about it. Yeah. I still think I want to know how the prosecution is asking for the judge to let them use IgG as a generic tip without mentioning IgG, and that they just got Bryan Kohberger's name from some generic tip. How the fuck is that going to work? You want to lie to the jury? You want to say you got Bryan Kohberger's name from a way that you didn't get it? You guys, this is absurd. The shit that they want to do. Okay. All the unknown DNA is male. So it's a fact that there's unknown DNA. Blood evidence on railing, 1 sample, and the glove just outside, another sample. It's another person. So then check this out. Let's say that it comes out, guys, that there was a fight that night. And so that person's blood who they fought with he just ended up having, touched the railing. That's why he had his blood there. So you're going to sit here and tell me on a night that there was a fucking fight club, people running around with masks and doing God knows what, but people are fighting, blood, blah, blah, blah. It's also the same night that a serial killer wannabe that comes into your house, and stab and kills 4 people, leaving 2 witnesses. Do you understand that if, based on what they're saying, that if Bryan would have just came in and the first door that he would have went to is Dylan's, Dylan would have never been able to text any of that stuff. I mean, that's not how it is. The CODIS. You have to, okay, so the way that CODIS works is, first of all, it has to be foreign DNA. You have to be able to prove that it doesn't belong there, which I would think that those 2 blood on the railing that doesn't match anybody that lives there would be foreign DNA to me. So there's, CODIS is highly regulated. That's what that means. They do a horrible job explaining that. The fact there's really nothing to go down the rabbit hole with, you guys. These documents that have become unsealed, the state doesn't have anything except for what I'm showing you here. Publicly, that we know. This is all that's been publicly talked about in documents. Like, if you want to listen to mainstream media, you might as well just fucking go, I don't know, go on a beach and get fucking drunk 7 days a week, because I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. When a jury hears that there's 3 mixtures of DNA underneath Maddie's fingernail, and it does not match Bryan Kohberger, he's been excluded. There's blood on the railing. It does not match Bryan Kohberger. He's been excluded. There's blood on a glove, separate to unknown male D, not Bryan Kohberger. So we have 2 male profiles, unknown, and they are blood evidence. This isn't fucking trace DNA touch. This is fucking this is fluid. Biological fluid. This isn't shedding skin cells. This is blood. Okay? And people want to sit here and, and say there's nothing to see here. Are you out of your fucking minds? That house was a party house. Well, what else was it? A fucking brothel? I mean, why is there people blood everywhere? They wouldn't. What? Like, you just can't have it both ways. I would say, this is all I'm saying. There's some problems here. This isn't a slam dunk. This is so far from a slam dunk, but the reason that you have a better chance at a slam dunk is only because you have idiots who've become jurors lately. And they have no idea what they're fucking doing. I don't know if Bryan Kohberger is innocent. I don't know if he's guilty, but I'm saying that you want me to convict off of this shit that's in the documents? Fuck no way. Absolutely not. There's no way. If I heard that 911 call and I was on the jury, if I heard and saw those text messages, that alone gives me pause. I can't what? I don't know. But you're gonna, I mean, give me more. Give me more. Bryan's never confessed. Bryan has never put himself at that house. You know, because I'm comparing it to the Delphi case where, okay, Richard Allen he puts himself like there kind of, puts himself on the bridge, but fuck, Bryan isn't coming close to any of this shit. He, just like Richard Allen, he didn't know the girls. He doesn't know them. He never came in contact with them. Show me that he's come in contact with them. Show me, you know what the odds are that you would pick that house that has all that shit going on and that Bryan Kohberger just gets so lucky as to, I mean, there were so many things that could have, Steve Gonsalves said they trashed the house. How could they kill 4 people and still have time to trash the house? Steve Gonsalves has said a lot of things. Steve Gonsalves said that that he left behind so much evidence and that Ann Taylor's just grasping at straws because she wants to exclude some terminology. I disagree. I just disagree. I don't know. I didn't know if I saw like trash the house. I think that the crime scene's highly contaminated due to summoning friends over. Steve Gonsalves has been getting his information from Idaho State Police and the Moscow Police Department, and that's his first problem. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. Also, they just don't know anything. They told us we don't even know that answer. They told us we don't know shit. They did not know shit. The name Bryan Kohberger allegedly came to them from IGG. Okay, they didn't know shit from November 13th until December 19th. I want to know what they were doing during November 13th to December 19th in this case, because they weren't sniffing Bryan Kohberger. So what were you guys working on? How are you guys preserving this case? This case is not going cold. We got tips coming in. We got leads. Remember? Is it possible the time was from 2 to 3 and they changed the metadata, the feds early? Oh, I think that doesn't even, I think it could have been from 2 to 3. That you guys, the Dr. Moore case, I've physically proven it, that it was, they staged the crime scene. They staged it all and they made it seem like it happened 45 minutes to an hour after the fact. The doctor was shot. Very similar in this case, and that required people extending each other's lives. So they had they had 2 people extending this man's life, but they corroborated each other's, like, so for this case, nothing extends Maddie and Kaylee's life past 2:52. But they claim that based off of their data, like their phones, at 2:52, if they don't make any more phone calls or texting or whatever, people say, oh, it's because they went to sleep. Oh, so 2 girls fell asleep at the same time and stopped utilizing their phone at the same time, right? 2:52. So from 2:52, Kaylee never used her phone again. Maddie never used her phone again. Yeah, because they fell asleep. They fell asleep at the same time. Well, what it looks like to me is that they were dead and they didn't use their phone after that. So I think that Xana's up walking around the house. A DoorDash is dropping off food. And that At the same time that Xana's going to pick up a DoorDash from downstairs, Dylan allegedly hears Kaylee say somebody's here, but the cops say, oh, it probably wasn't Kaylee. It's probably Xana, because TikTok says that she was on TikTok at 4:12. And yeah. So everybody just happens to pop on through there at 4:00, DoorDash, and the killer, who doesn't know these people, goes in. It said supposedly somebody was targeted, right? But instead of killing one person, they ended up killing 4 people. Okay. But walks past another person, but doesn't kill that person. Get the fuck out of here. While BF is just downstairs riding some dick. You like that, K. Miller? I'm just saying, this is all the things that they're going to say that happen in court, in the courtroom, because this is what they're saying that everybody's doing. This trial is going to be off the fucking chains with shit. Like, this is going to be wild. The shit people are going to be testifying to, the number of fucking witnesses are going to be called to that stand, and what these people are going to be testifying to. Bryan Kohberger has an expert that's for stage crime scenes. I mean, that's a fact. Go check it out. One of his experts, she's an expert in staged crime scenes. So there's that. I mean, I don't think Ann Taylor buys the story at the fuck all. I don't buy it right now. I have to see way more. I think Becca is going to, they needed to put her on because she's going to be able to cross-examine the state's witnesses unbelievably well, to point out that there's a lot of problems. Cyree is going to prove that they didn't even use cast and that they just railroaded the phone evidence and made it something that it's not. I think it's going to be wild. I think that this is, Steve said, if you guys want to go with Steve said that there's people, Ethan's parents said that 2:00 is a very dark hour. So I don't know if it was a decision that maybe Ethan decided to stay at Xana's versus or go to Xana's when he wasn't supposed to. And so it's like a decision or something like that. That could be kind of what they need. 2 a.m. is just a really dark hour for us. There could be other special meetings behind that. And the kids, the brother and sister would know that, that he was at Sigma Chi and then he was going to just stay there and then he ends up going over there, I think mainstream media is just fucking the biggest propaganda machine I've ever seen in my life. I mean, do those people even read? Do those people even read when something is produced that they're supposed to be covering and reporting on? Do they even read the material? It's that bad. It's that bad, the stuff that they fucking talk about. They see a document like this, rejected state's motion lemony 911 call. Oh my God, they don't want the 911 call in. They see, where's the other one? Just something stupid Defendant's motion to preclude the death penalty and adopt another. Oh my God, Bryan Kohberger, he killed him because he's autistic. I mean, motion limit number 14, statistical. Oh my God, they want to exclude the DNA that's under the fingernails because it's Brian's. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid fucks. Dumb. I just can't handle it. Dumb shit. But it's been a great chat. Can we hear Linda Lane at 319? Please turn it up. Oh, God, go back to Linda Lane. I'm actually going to round it out. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes for me. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse, I can tell. Laugh myself. I'm laughing because Lana's right. It's dumb. It's ridiculous, you guys. It's ridiculous. It is so bad. And I'm just like, then it's just like, who are the idiots that keep fucking watching this shit? These videos get 500,000 views, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the videos are only like 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long. So maybe I'll just start pumping out 1 minute and saying, oh my God, breaking news. This is what the document says. It does not say this. Or just like take a clip of what mainstream media says and then hurry up and just say, oh my God, stop. And just start going, wow, wow, wow. Like bullshit alert, bullshit alert. I mean, what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I click on this shit so I can tell you guys how bad it is. How bad it is. I'm going to do a shot of sake here. We got some good Japanese sake on the market. Let's see. Let me take a shot with you guys. It'll be my bedtime dose of fucking bad dreams. Patty. It's about time we drag out the Linda Lane videos. Oh, we drug them out, baby girl. It is 100% circumstantial. They definitely do not read very, very little. If MSM does this for a crime case, think about how misconstrued 100%. And that's what they do. They want fucking the whole world to fight each other and to pick a side and shit like that. I'm like, pick a view. What do you mean pick a side? Can you imagine if like you had a side with your spouse on everything? Like, you're either on my side or you're not. Well, with everything that you think, all my views, goddammit. Like, do you know how stupid that sounds? Yeah. You got your tequila ready? All my views, you are either on my side or you're against me. I'm like, have a goddamn opinion, would you fucking pussy? Yes, Nana, whatever you say, Nana. Oh, that's great. All right, cheers. It's called brewed in the United States of America. What the hell? What kind of Japanese sake is this? Sake tume. Pour it into a small container and place it in hot water to warm, or just put it in the microwave. Pour 2 ounces. If you want sake on the rocks or with ice cubes, add twists of lemon peel. You could have a sake screwdriver. I just drink it straight. Let's see. I'll show you what kind it is. You guys can go out there and get it yourselves. I had to read oh God, yeah, let me read those super chats. Let me get back into my super chats. Oh wait, Michelle, thank you so much for the Cash App. I'm gonna go to lunch tomorrow. Let's see. After K. Miller did 20. Crime Star with child. He mini Dr. Kohberger in the making. Oh God. I'm good on that. Oh, not riding. Love you, Lana. Everybody's riding. Everybody's riding the D at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Thank you so much. Did I miss anybody else's Cash App? Hold on. Oh, wait. I missed somebody's PayPal the other day, and I cannot miss that. Hold on. I won't announce it. It was so kind, too. Debbie, thank you. And it was, okay, here it is. Dana and Melanie. Melanie sent me $10 and Dana sent me $50. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Bethany was riding dirty downstairs. Do you have that? It's so good. Yeah, take a picture of that. Is sake sweet, Lana? It tastes like rubbing alcohol. But I like it. No, it tastes like vodka warmed up. And then you drop it into a Red Bull over Red Bull, and you just go and then it falls in. Or you could do it over like a Sparrow or something like that, but I just do it straight. I prefer it hot. If I get cold sake, it's apple sake cold. And then I prefer female hibachi chefs. They're so hard to find though. My favorite female hibachi chef is in Fort Lauderdale at the Benihana's out there. So, thank you, Vonda. Welcome, member. Look out, new member. Have a great night, Lana, and everyone. Thank you guys so much. I think Eric is going to need private security. I'm still trying to see people said that Eric said that, oh my God, when I found out that Bryan lived 1,200 yards away from me. You know, my work in investigating, researching of Eric, I don't put him over there at that Pullman address. I have him at a couple different ones. So I'm curious if he was renting out shit. If he was a slumdog millionaire. I'm curious to hear if Linda Lane is accurate, if the times are accurate. I know in the Dr. Moore case, I know in plenty of cases, surveillance cameras easily can get out of whack. So, what else? Always be on Fantastic Live. All your hard work you put into the case. Thank you so much. We're going to be going hard for this case. Idaho4 case is my baby. We've been on it since the day after. Well, because it happened on the 13th, and we caught the tail end of it on the 13th in the evening, and then grabbed everything 14th, 15th. I mean, sucked up all the social media before it was taken off. Who keeps a Taco Bell receipt? Well, that's what's interesting to me. Did he go to Taco Bell for Dylan? You know, it makes sense if Dylan was hungry and hungover, or like she was drunk, so I want food. So she asked Eric if he was still driving to bring me some food and come on inside and I'll pay you with some. But part my gut tells me with that is that's she was awake at the time. We're using it as a timeline. And then, you know, she originally went to bed upstairs, and that's at that 2 o'clock, 2:10. So great work, Lana. Rest your voice, love and respect. Oh, thank you so much. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. On your way out, thumbs up the video. Get yourself some sleep as well. Good night, Hollywood out there. And prayers for all Gene Hackman's family. Holy shit, what a tragedy that was. So sad. So sad. Gene Hackman, phenomenal talent. So sad. All right, guys, good night. Peace out. Thank you for all your inputs. Moderators, thank you so much. Holding it down. I love the way you dick me down. LL Cool J. H-Bag, you son of a bitch. I love you. Good night. $5, you're the shit. I hope you get cell phone info to do a timeline like Karen. It will be telling, yep, as soon as I get that damn data, I'm all over that. I will be pumping that out. Appreciate you on that. Thanks again. Good night.